the Shred Hall of Shame. Now this is where it gets nutty, folks. Whitesnake, #1. Slip of the tongue, an utter disappointment to those who believe Steve Vai was actually an artist.
I have a hard time just hearing anything derogatory about people who have achieved that much and have that much skill.
Never has such a gifted guitarist betrayed his promise so thoroughly on the Fire and Ice album. And then Nitro, a band that was foolish enough to believe that speed would cover up the fact that they have absolutely nothing to say. The Modern Age, No More Tears. Traditional, no-frills, heavy metal thunder, courtesy of the gloriously obnoxious Zakk Wylde. Dude, this is so heavy. You gotta be kidding me. This is where I want to go. Okay, Solo Flight. All this great stuff, they're gonna go pinpoint the exact moment in time when shredding became disreputable, right? Disreputable. Okay. All right, sometimes believe it was right after Steve Vai sold his soul to Whitesnake for an alleged cool million. Look at the way they write this. Sold his soul, like it wasn't a good thing when he was with them and their albums. Anyway, others argue it was during Yngwie's 4th album or was it his 5th? Gee, was there a difference? Oh my gosh, Guitar World, this is brutal. They are cracking the hammer on everybody that they worship today, which is pretty funny. How the tides change over time. Now it's cool. But they go over this, showing it, yada yada. We get to this. The Shred Hall of Shame. Okay, now this is where it gets nutty, folks. All right, tell me your view on this. Whitesnake, #1. Slip of the tongue, an utter disappointment to those who believe Steve Vai was actually an artist. Thank the Lord for Passion and Warfare, which was recorded a year later. Dude, Slip of the Tongue kicked ass. I am so confused on this. Wow, dude.
I mean, I have a hard time hearing anybody say anything derogatory about somebody like Steve Vai, because I mean, Steve Vai is like somebody who I know really well virtually. Jeff Watson from Night Ranger fame has an email thread that I'm a part of, and I've gotten to know Steve on there and really know a lot about his story and his time back at Berkeley, and how he wanted to become the best sight reader in the world. And I just think all these things, all the Zappa transcriptions to joining, and then the stories of how much he needed to practice to be in Zappa's band, and having to fill in for Yngwie, who was a legend on very little notice in Alcatraz, unbelievable. And how about having to step in and play with David Lee Roth when parting ways with Eddie Van Halen? And I mean, to me, these are people that you just, no matter what, you sorry, man, you need to hold these people in high regard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So to see that, dude, that was.
I have a hard time just hearing anything derogatory about people who have achieved that much and have that much skill.
It's true.
It's like.
You see who #2 is?
Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Never has such a gifted guitarist betrayed his promise so thoroughly on the Fire and Ice album. This is just like. It was a time, I guess.
Again,
right?
I have a hard time.
It's fun to hate on this stuff.
I have a hard time with all of that. Anybody that's Yngwie broke, he changed the guitar scene. When we were younger and he came out, and I just have a hard time. I don't know, why disrespect that, man?
Sure.
I mean, it's come on, really?
And also Poison, which CeCe DeVille is getting a lot of hate, though. It seems like for a long time. Now he does, but I see the greatness in CeCe DeVille. I love his stuff. And then it goes Maestro Alex Gregory, and then Nitro. And again, just the way they talk, a band that was foolish enough to believe that speed would cover up the fact that they have absolutely nothing to say. Whoa, this is intense. This is an intense article. I don't know if this issue would even inspire anybody to want to play guitar. I mean, just the way they talk about it. It's like, this is, okay, so I'm going to go sell my guitar, use it, throw it in the wood chip, or turn it into a coffee table. It was a crazy time where you didn't want to be a shredder, apparently. What's funny about Nitro, I tell my brother this. Do you know where I heard their song, a Nitro song recently? Do you remember that Hulk Hogan movie called Urban Commando?
No.
It was a complete blender. It was horrible. I mean, it's funny when you watch back. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I think we kind of enjoyed it. It was just, it's so at the time. But there was teenagers that were in a Camaro that you never saw the inside of the car, and they would just race through the suburban neighborhood running over kids. And they were blasting Nitro. That's how I remember Nitro music. Anyway, to get out of that. But, you know, they go over some other stuff here, too. Smashing Pumpkins, Alice in Chains, and Cantrell plays a Music Man, Edward Van Halen, so you know who their primary influences are. So kind of, where's it going now, you know? Look at this. No More Tears. So what is this toll? The modern age. No More Tears. Traditional, no-frills, heavy metal thunder, courtesy of the gloriously obnoxious Zakk Wylde. Dude, this is so heavy. Like, what was Guitar World thinking? This did not age well. I'm probably gonna get blacklisted just by covering this issue. I find it entertaining, but damn, it was not paying to do this stuff back then, it seems. But I love No More Tears. One of the best Ozzy albums, my favorite, hands down. So to see that, it's like, you gotta be kidding me.
How do you pay tribute to one of the greatest guitarists from one of the greatest rock bands of all time?
Tone Arts USA proudly brings to you the ultimate addition to your shred den, the limited edition Super Halen 1x12 stack.
Draped in the pages of a vintage 1990 Van Halen comic book, the Super Halen is a showpiece that can rock like no other.
Handcrafted by Tone Arts master luthier Sam Hill, no two Super Halen amps are the same.
Each cabinet is scientifically crafted with the highest grade materials to give you that monstrous tone that will light up the sky. It's fully loaded with a 12-inch USA-made Green Beret speaker, a total upgrade from the Celestion G12M greenbacks that we've become so accustomed to.
Each cabinet is closed back just like Eddie's, but Tone Arts USA does offer an optional open back if your heart desires.
Visit www.mastersofshred.com now to reserve yours today before you can't get this stuff no more.
And then we go all the way to the back, and we're still talking about Satriani probably defending the term shredder and, you know, how to click.
Well,
It was
he's
such
coming
a
out selling
big thing.
platinum records and having the culture change was probably like, is this going to survive? Should it survive? You know, the validity of it. You know what's funny is that it seems like the you can see clearly like Metallica, like the Black Album and Pantera and stuff like that. There was no bagging on the shredding when it was happening in really, really heavy stuff.
Right.
That was like
That's
perfectly
true.
acceptable.
Pantera.
Yeah,
There's tons of shred in Pantera.
Right, and they're
Yeah.
they're praising Diamond Daryl in the
Right.
magazine. So it's more or less like, I guess, more steered at like, you know, mainstream rock and roll. Like, let's go ahead and push a lot of that fast playing off into the heavy stuff, and like,
Yeah.
we're okay with that.
Yeah,
Like,
as long as you got the heavy. Yeah, that makes sense, dude. We got some Carvin ads here.